Well, unfortunately, this helicopter is dead. The bottom blade isn't turning anymore. However, I am gonna try and take it apart to see what the issue is. I don't think I'll be able to actually fix it. This is probably gonna be more of a post-mortem exam than an actual repair attempt, but I might get lucky. See, the bottom blade doesn't turn anymore, so it just spins out of control. It is fun to watch it do that, though. Not as much fun as actually flying it, though, unfortunately. So, it is secured together with screws. So, I'm just going to turn this switch off and undo the screws. That'd be kind of boring to watch and pretty hard to do with one hand, so I think it's time for a little jump cut here. Well, I've removed the canopy. Didn't take much. And I think I'll be able to put it back together again. But the gears, which I think the problem is in there, are still covered up by this metal thing, so I'm going to take these screws out and see if I can get underneath that. There's the battery, by the way, I think. There's the LED that goes on. And that little tiny circuit board. Everything's surface mounted as I expected. Alright, I think I found the problem. Can't really do much about it, but see that little shaft over there? On the right side, right below the shield, there's just a motor shaft there. If you look on the left side, there's a gear right there that's going to the motor shaft. Here, that gear is missing, so it must have broken and fallen off the shaft completely, and heaven knows where it is now. It's somewhere in the house, but I'd never find that gear, and even if I did, it's probably cracked anyway, which is why it fell off. So, I don't know. It's probably time to say goodbye, because I don't know where I'd find another gear exactly like that. Unless I had another helicopter like this that's broken in a different manner, which I don't. So, oh well. Well, I've taken the front off of this remote control, and all I can say is it's pretty standard stuff. Pull this off here, and got a little thing over here. This was the throttle, or how basically you would use this to control how high or how low the helicopter was flying. If you put it all the way down to 0 and it would drop like a rock, put it all the way up to the top and it would shoot up like a rocket. Somewhere in between it would hover, and this lever is like go back, go forward, turn left, turn right. And this is the trim. As you can see, it's just a potentiometer. Nothing special. And then we have the only thing that appears to be custom other than the plastic parts and obviously the circuit board. That chip right there has no markings on it at all. So I can only assume it's some kind of microcontroller that they've programmed for this thing, or a purpose-built IC of some sort of description, but there's no way to really tell because, again, it's totally unmarked. There might be stuff on the other side of the board, but there's only one way to find out. Well, surprisingly enough, there's nothing on the other side of the board. It's basically all through-hole construction, which is surprising in a modern device, but I guess then again, the remote's a pretty simple thing, so, there's no, like, 48-pin ICs or anything like that. And it doesn't need to be super miniaturized, because the remote is pretty darn big by today's standards. So, surprisingly, it was all through-hole construction. I can understand the helicopter being all surface mount, because, you know, you gotta make it as small as you can. I didn't expect to see a through-hole dip chip in something like this. I mean, I'd expect to see a through-hole dip chip in, like, say, a stationary clock radio, or, like, I don't know, like, one of those kiddie game consoles, or, I don't know, most things have gone at least partially to surface mount, if not entirely. Usually with portable devices, it's entirely surface mount. Also, some of the terms on the circuit board I don't quite understand. Like TD, that's what leads to this switch. Apparently TD is and SW3, usually SW means switch, but this is clearly a potentiometer. And so are these. See, it says SW right there, but again, these are either potentiometers or encoders or something like that. And CH plus and CH minus, I have no idea, but there's nothing in those holes, so my only guess is that maybe they reused this board for a bunch of their different designs. The store I bought this from they had it on clearance, which is why I got it so cheap. Notice this gigantic transistor compared to all the others. I can't take that off. There's the LED that normally is the on-off LED, and the charging, it's a multicolored LED. And as you can see, for whatever reason, there's three infrared. There's three of the IR LEDs. And again, pretty much exclusively through-hole construction. Nothing in here really worth salvaging. So, you know, those little caps are like a dime a dozen sort of resistors. And the chip, without knowing what it does, like, I mean, I know what it controls the remote, so I know what it does in that respect, but I don't know, like, the specifics of anything, so I can't really, it's not really worth salvaging anything in here. But it was fun to take it apart anyway.